Good evening. I'm very honored to be invited to speak in front of such an esteemed group of people and share my story all the way from Copenhagen, Denmark. My family is something as rare as lucky Jews. We are extremely blessed by having been saved in 2 generations. Both times it demanded courage and kindness from someone. The first time was in October 1943, when a non-Jewish stranger and his 16-year-old son took my grandparents in a rowing boat in the middle of the night to safety in Sweden. The second time, it was no random stranger who saved my family. It was a kind, generous, and treasured member of our community who had volunteered as a security guard for the past 15 years. On February 14th last year, we were celebrating our daughter Hannah's bat mitzvah. Hannah had spoken that day in the Great Synagogue of Copenhagen about the importance of tolerance, of showing compassion, and doing good deeds. 12 hours later, Hannah and her 2 brothers and 18 of their young friends learned that tolerance and compassion does not always extend to them. That night, Jewish security guard Dan Usan, blessed be his memory, was shot and killed while protecting the entrance to the synagogue where we were inside celebrating. According to the police, Dan prevented a massacre intended for me, for my children, and everyone I love the most in the world. When we came home Sunday morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, after the longest and hardest night of our lives, we were trying to come to grips with what had happened, and our hearts bled for Dan and for his wonderful family. All I wanted to do was to reclaim my children's innocence. But how do you do that? The very foundation of our lives, our right to live in peace without fearing for our lives, had been shaken to its core. But how do you explain that? I had no words for comfort and no words for optimism. But then David called me. The Algemeiner gave me a voice when I had none. They wrapped me in the warm blanket of Jewish unity. They gave me an identity. In his article about our story, David called me Defiant Mother. It gave me something to live up to, and it gave me the strength and courage to speak out. In a time where anti-Semitism is again sweeping across Europe, and where the BDS movement is gaining popularity by the minute, the need for a voice, our voice, my voice, a Jewish voice, is more important than ever. The Algemeiner was my voice when I needed one. Thank you, David, and to the Algemeiner for being my voice in my time of need, and thank you for giving me back mine. Thank you.